there's 3 5/8 by 11 threaded holes in the bell housing.
Okay, three 5/8.
And one of the bolt holes was bad. We took the bolt out and walked some aluminum out with it. And that made it a little tough to get that apart. Anyway,
Yep.
That's in, that's done. Starter's in, the wires are clean. It does start proper, turns over proper. And I think we see the immediate reason why we are leaking from that vent, but I want to run it a little more. But, if someone said they had to work for you tonight, I would not turn it down.
All right, so basically you heard my conversation with my mechanic, and it seems like he got my truck fixed, and that was quick, man. It was like 1 week to get a starter put in and drill some holes. He said there was like 3 holes in the crossover bar or something by the crankcase where the oil he thinks was coming out from. So he's not sure if that fixed it completely, but the oil leak wasn't that bad. But they did what they could, and they at least fixed the major problem, which was the starter, because I can't go to work if my truck won't start. I can deal with the oil, but that's something we're definitely gonna have to address. I'm just happy I got the truck back, man. So I'm gonna go pick up the truck soon and hook up to my trailer, and then we gotta load for tonight later, so join along. So I'm just leaving my mechanic. He had to put a new starter in my truck. Unfortunately, I was hoping that wasn't gonna be the case, but that's what had to happen in order for her to start. But thankfully, I got a load tonight so I can work now. We had the starter rebuilt from Floyd's, so now she starts every time. I guess it was like some contact thing within the main solenoid, and when the engine wouldn't crank over, the rotation wouldn't happen that it needed to avoid some kind of contact. So every time then it wouldn't start for a while. But for him, it would start some of the time. Like he said, when it was here, it would start for him every time. So it's just weird. Well, now I'm going down the road to hook up to my trailer, and I have a load picking up tonight at 1:30 in the morning. So we're gonna see how she runs. Just glad to be able to be back working. He got that starter rebuilt and put back in pretty quickly, and the Max Force engine, the truck that I had, the engine that I have is actually pretty hard. It's a complicated thing to get to the starter. You have to take off a bunch of things. So the fact that they got that done so fast, I think it's only been a week since he's had it. Now I'm gonna go hook up to my trailer and then park her and go back home and sleep for a while, and then it's back to the truck I go, and this load picks up in Fruitport and goes to Detroit. Just getting to my trailer. I've had it dropped here for about a week while he fixes my truck. So we'll hook up to this trailer. Hopefully everything's still intact, and there's my trailer right there. I hate leaving an empty trailer here, but they're okay with it, and it's not like a truck stop, but I had to do what I had to do. And I asked them and they said it was cool. I just know I hate taking up spots for trucks, but like I said, it's not a truck stop, it's just a McDonald's. We'll back on in, hook up to this trailer, and then go home and go to bed.
Seven hours later.
Oh, starting the day off at 1:30 in the morning. Running on very little sleep. The twin babies have been up all night. I mean, they slept a little bit. I got like 2 hours of sleep. So at the truck, and I am going to start her up and let her warm up. I'll be back. all right. She started. Kind of afraid to look at the repair bill though, because on top of the starter, I had as you've seen in some of my other videos, I had an oil leak. So I had asked my mechanic if he would look at that and see what might be causing that, if it's like a pan gasket or something that needs to be replaced. He did find a leak. It's like on the crankcase. There was these holes. Actually hooked up to the trailer, because if not, we don't want to be dropping no trailers. We're good there. Kingpin's locked in. Lights are working. It's a real quickie. Good to get into a habit to do this. It's easy to get out of the habit of doing this, just like it is checking your oil. So it's crazy because when I first got here, the lady that loaded me, I tried going loaded in 5th gear, and that doesn't really work too well usually with this truck. But yeah, the lady that, so yeah, it's weird. The lady that loaded me just now, when I first got here, kind of had me scared. They kind of had me thinking like I was gonna have to turn around and go home, and the load was canceled because she was like, I was like, hey, I'm here for Detroit. And she was like, Detroit? What are you talking about? I don't have no Detroit. And I'm like, are you serious? Ultimately, she ended up saying that it was her bad because she had to go. I had told her, are you sure you might want to check? Not to be rude, because like this load was scheduled through Detroit Mobex yesterday at like 5 p.m. So clearly it wasn't like a super expedited, like on the fly, hey, we need these parts ASAP, you know, send a truck in a few hours. It wasn't one of those, which they do those. And I could understand if it was one of those where they might cancel, but that wasn't the case here. So I was just letting her know, like, maybe it slipped through the cracks, and they really do need these parts, and maybe they're done. And so she was like, yeah, let me check. So she went through her paperwork, and she had told me, oops, my bad. As we got closer into Detroit, like, there was construction and traffic, and it turned into like one lane right when I had to get off on the exit onto M5. And I just missed it, man. I missed it. And thankfully, and then after I missed it, my GPS rerouted me to where I'd get off on the next exit on 12 Mile and then turn around and get back on that same highway, M5, which would have only been a couple minute detour. However, I thought that I was able to get right back on M5 without having to get off on the next exit. For some reason, I thought it was just like a merge to a different highway where I was, so I thought I would be able to get back onto the highway. And so I just kept on where I was instead of getting off on that exit, and it rerouted me again. Sure enough, I wasn't able to do what I thought I could do, and merge right back onto M5. So I had to take a different way, and that's where I'm at now. I'm actually just like right 5 minutes away from my delivery in Detroit, and basically I had to take 8 Mile Road all the way down. So the problem with that is you got all these flipping stoplights, traffic. It's really stop and go, you know, the whole way down 8 Mile Road. So yeah, that sucked. But it could. Alright, so this little entrance right here into Mobex is, I usually hog up 2 lanes just because it's kind of tight, and you don't get a whole lot of space when you get in here. Thankfully, I'm in a day cab. If I have my old truck, it probably wouldn't be too fun. And it looks like it's not busy yet, thank God. Hopefully I'll be able to slide up in here, and I don't know if they're having shift change or not. That always puts a damper in timing. Hopefully I can just slide up in here and be gone with my... Just makes it very... These cars on the right hand side makes it a really tight spot to back in. Once you get them in the right position, there's a lot of room, unless there's other trucks in the docks in it. That's when it becomes tricky. I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this one on the first shot. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Got a lock gate. Hit the button.
Nap time.
All right. So we just left the delivery and I got a little cat nap in, I think about like maybe an hour nap, which is plenty enough. I mean, that's really all I need to get me back home without falling asleep at the wheel. Man, on my way here was so rough. Kind of scary. Not to the point where I was like nodding off, but like to the point where I was just complete exhaustion and like I wanted to go to bed, and it was pretty close to nodding off. So that sucked, but hey, we got this load unloaded and we're heading back home. All is well. I got a little bit of rain going on. Oh yeah, when I was there at the delivery, the guy that came in after me, they unloaded him first, which is cool. It's all good, but I was like, no. When that happens, obviously that means, you know, you're gonna be there for another hour, so it's all good. I'm used to it, but I took my nap. But as he was about to unload me, he came knocking on my door and said, hey, can you move your tandems? I've been there, I don't know how many times over the past couple years. They've never asked me to do that. They've never asked me to move my tandems. Sometimes I do, I mean, really though, it is kind of like I guess, a courtesy thing for the forklift driver, so I do try to do that sometimes. But man, in the winter, it's been really cold out. I really try avoiding having to move my tandems. This trailer that I got, it's not that new, and the tandems get kind of frozen, and like I got a hammer that'll hit, but in the winter that really doesn't do much. So sometimes they get stuck and they don't want to slide. It's all oh man, looks like we gotta take a freaking U-turn. You're kidding me, dude. That's what I get for not paying attention, I guess. So I had to take a detour on my way here, which was right at this same intersection. I got confused of the construction, wasn't really paying attention, and then before I knew it, I missed my exit. Ended up on an 8-mile. I don't know what I have to do here. I definitely don't want to go to Toledo, Ohio. But yeah, I looked on the load board, couldn't find the load, so just going straight home empty. I do that a lot. Thanks. So now we're back on track. I had to go like 15 minutes out of the way, which was only like 5 miles, but 5 miles on, you know, in Novi, outside of Detroit in the suburbs. It's like 15-minute drive, unfortunately. So right here we have construction, and about like 5 miles back it said right lane closed in a few miles, and then just like a mile back it was saying merge. I see some trucks up here are starting to cut off the right lane. That guy in front of the Little Caesars truck just cut off the right lane, which is interesting because he was over in the right lane. So what a lot of people do is I know a lot, it's like it's like back and forth, like 50-50. Like I know a lot of people say the correct way to do these little merges right here, you see how it turns from a 2-lane into a 1-lane, and you're notified way ahead. So is the right thing to do to get over into the left lane, like when you first see the sign, or when you're, you know, getting pretty close? Or do you wait right here until it actually merges, you get up here and then wait for somebody to let you over? Usually I drive at nights, man, so I don't have to, I rarely ever have to pull into a way station. Can't remember the last time I did, to be honest, until now. We are finally back to the yard. We made it. It was a heck of a night, boys and girls. We survived. It's like I went on vacation, except not really vacation for 2 weeks, because I've been up all night, every night with the twins. But I wouldn't change that for the world. I'm just saying, it's been a rough deal. So last night was, excuse me, was pretty rough itself. So, we back. Time to park this old rig. You guys won't believe what just happened. So I just got back to the yard and parked, ready to go home after a long nights of work. And I realized, where the heck is my van? Where did my van go? I'm thinking maybe it got towed. I see Merle's towing service here. So I'm thinking, where the heck is my car, man? I want to go home. Just getting back. And then I'm like, duh. I freaking just got my truck out of the mechanic, and I had to park at the McDonald's where we picked up the trailer this morning. So I have to drive all the way to Hudsonville to get my car. I'm gonna have to park there. So I wasn't even thinking, and that sucks. But it is what it is.